Alright, hello everyone, how are you all doing? I'm back, and today I am going to be hopefully helping you all out and finally showing you how to get GC from some simple training. And this is genuine, like this helps so much. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I hope you all enjoy. Alright, so I'm going to cover two different trainings in this video. One of them is for if you don't have a ton of time because of school or whatever sort of thing could be coming up in your life. And the other is for people who are fully committed to this game and have tons of time. So let's get firstly into the one that takes less time. Okay, so for the people who don't have tons of time, I have a quick 25 to 40 minute warm up for you. Now, firstly that might seem like a lot of time to play for a warm up. The thing is, you need to play this game a lot and warm up a lot if you want to hit GC. It's as simple as that. You can't just not play this game and get GC. So yeah, it is still a bit of time, but it is way less time. So the training pack consists of dribbling, speed and aerial control. They're three really important factors, and I'm going to show you how to warm up for them on the screen right now, and I'm going to now show you how to do it. Alright, before we get into this, I just want to say this one is not going to make you a pro or anything. This is not going to make you GC this first one. To be honest, the training I used was triple this size, probably more than that. So don't expect this one to make you a god. It's just a training pack for if you can't play it all the time because of like you're busy. So this will help you, and these are the stuff you should be practicing if you don't have a lot of time. If you don't warm up, I recommend you do it, even if it's going to be this one, because this one, like these three essential training packs which I put in here, really helped me out. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. The next one I'll put a timestamp on screen for, because that one's going to be the extremely important one that I used to use. Well, I used to do more than that, but yeah, enjoy and let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to get straight into the first bit, and the first bit is super simple. It's just free play, 10 to 15 minutes, and that's literally just so you can warm up on your general mechanics. You don't want to be sat there practicing aerialing, and then you suck at dribbling when you go into a match. So this is to get an overall feel for the game when you first get in, because everyone has to do that. Now, I'm going to say something that some people, well, most people know, but don't do. But you need to, and when I say need to, I mean you have to not go up the wall constantly. You can't be going for certain specific shots in free play. You have to play fast, hit the ball around, follow it as fast as possible, recover as fast as possible, and this will help you a ton. Like, it doesn't matter if you're missing. If you're missing, that's a great sign, because it shows you're playing fast, but make sure you're playing fast. Just going for stuff. You know, you'll practice your ceiling shots while you're playing fast. Don't just go specifically for a certain shot. You will not learn. So keep that in mind, and with that said, let's move on to the next point. Alright, so for the aerial control, what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the Pillars map, which is one of the Rocket League maps. You can just go into an exhibition match and find this. And what we're going to do is we're going to fly around in figures 8s, going around and trying to just fly without touching walls, ceilings, landing on the floor, and just kind of keep a fluent, clean motion. So you can do this for 5 or 10 minutes. I would recommend do it for 10, and I would recommend doing it in sections. So maybe do 2.5 minutes of, this is just an example, do 2.5 minutes of constantly spinning, then do 2.5 minutes of like no spinning, and then do 5 minutes of both, do 2.5 minutes of tornado spin. You know, change it up to whatever you personally need to practice. When I was practicing tornado spins, I did like 5 minutes of tornado spins, and then I did 2.5 minutes non-spin, 2.5 minute constantly spinning, and it was just kind of getting used to it, you know. But I'm primarily focused on tornado spinning, that's why I put it as 5 minutes. So you're just going to fly around in figure 8, doing what you feel best. Make sure you practice all of them. Don't just go, oh, I want to practice tornado spins, so I'm going to do tornado spinning. Practice no spins and spinning, and then practice something else. You need to practice constantly spinning and no spinning. This will drastically improve your mechanical ability in the air, and it will improve you so much. Trust me, from someone who used to use that a lot, I've become a lot more of a faster player with my spins, and I've understood how to tornado spin a lot better than I did. So with that said, let's just move on to the next one. Alright, now we're going to move on to dribbling. Now, we're not going to do HUD dribbling, where the ball's on your car. We're actually going to do bounce dribbling because it's an extremely important thing. and it's something you need to learn. And this will help with your shooting, your dribbling, and just accuracy and power. So this will definitely help you. So let's get right into it. Alright, so for this, what you want to do is you want to switch up. Now, first of all, we're going to bounce round in a circle, going right, and just keep bouncing it round and trying to keep control. If you mess up and you make the ball roll or whatever, don't worry about that, that's going to happen. You're going to do 2.5 minutes of that, and then we're going to switch to the left side and do the exact same thing. Once you have done that, we're now going to move on to both ways and shooting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of the goals and just hit it to the right and then hit it to the left, do our little bounce dribble, and then we are going to shoot just before halfway line. You can shoot any time if you really want. I would say try to shoot just before the halfway line or somewhere near the halfway line, and keep doing this for 5 minutes and then move on to speed training. Alright, so for this we're going to head over to the Neo Tokyo map, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the ramps to practice our recovery and our speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to fully boost and just drive up the ramp with the ball, and not jumping at the end or else you will go flying over the ball. Just boost, land on the wall, and then try hit the ball with tons of power. So your aim is not to score here, feel free to do it if you want, but your aim is just to get powerful touches and recover fast. So land with all 4 wheels so that you can jump off straight away and just hit it with power. You don't always have to hit it with power. You could try take it into an air dribble, into a flip reset. You could jump to the ceiling and then jump off and hit it. Just make sure you're mixing it up. If you're not going to do an air dribble or a flip reset or whatever, just do power stuff. But if you are going to do air dribbles, make sure you're practicing power stuff and all that as well. Make sure you're having a wider variety of mechanics to use if you get into a situation. Alright, so moving on to the more advanced training now. What you see on your screen right now is part of the training. It is not all of it. There's 2 parts to this, maybe even 3 because I can't fit it all on one screen. But as you can see, it's the same stuff as last time for the first screen here, but we're also going to be adding flicking. So I'm not going to cover what I've already covered. I'm just going to cover the new things, and I'll say what part it is at the beginning, but you need to add them all together because there's no point me going over them all again. So as you can see, these ones are different and there's a lot of them. And there's also the additional training, which is going to be for if you have friends, and you're going to need this. This is definitely going to help you in the long run to be able to practice kickoffs against someone. And it seems boring, but just trust me, do it. All this stuff might seem boring to you. The point of this, if you find it boring, that's fine. The point of it is for people who are really committed to this game. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so first we're going to go over flicking. So what we're going to do for this is 10 to 15 minutes, and I know it seems like a long time, but we're going to do 10 to 15 minutes flicking the ball off kickoffs, literally driving up to the ball, flicking it, driving up to the ball, flicking it. Now, that's pretty much it. How I personally like to do it is I go for different flicks. I used to, when I was practicing this before, like a ton, I used to do different flicks. So from like left diagonal, I'd say I'll do a diagonal flick. From right diagonal, I'll do a 45 degree flick. From straight on, I'll do a breezy flick. From, middle right, I'll do a diagonal forwards. I kind of have like different flips for each thing just to kind of practice tons. I would say make sure you're switching up the flicks. Literally just go into free plays, you can see in the background with what I'm doing. And I'm just going for tons of different flicks. Don't worry about missing them. Don't worry about watching them all through or scoring them. You're just going for flicks. So, yeah, just practice that and let's move on to momentum now. Alright, so while we're practicing momentum, you can turn off boost for this or keep it on. The main focus of this is to keep supersonic while trying to recover for stuff. Now, this is best done in free play with the ball, but right now what we're doing is kind of getting used to where boost is and kind of focusing on where boost is and making sure all our landings and stuff are perfect, make sure we're recovering. I would turn off boost for the part where you're kind of like trying to figure out where all the boosts are, but then turn on boost if you kind of just want to mess around and throw yourself into like a wall and try to recover and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't do this too much, this one. This one isn't the greatest, it's just for when you first start out, make sure you know where the 100 boosts are. If you already know where they are, you're done, don't worry about this part. Alright, so moving on to the final solo warm-up, we're going to be doing some boomers and trying to clear the ball. So we're going to off kick-off keep slamming the ball against the wall with a maximum of 2 bounces. If you really need it, take 3, but your overall aim should be at least getting 2 bounces and constantly being able to recover. This will help so much for turning and booming, which is really hard to do unless you've practiced, so this will help a ton. And that's it for the warm-up. We're literally going to do now a 5 to 10 minute free play warm-up just to get everything back in motion, and that is it. You can go into your matches, but if you have a friend, I'm going to give you some more training because you should be practicing some more stuff if you have a friend. So let's get right into the additional training. Alright, so first we're going to do some kickoff training now. For this, what you do is you'll both do a normal kickoff. You can do as many of these as you want. There's no real limit. You can do it first to like 10 goals or time limit, whatever. But what you do is you do a kickoff, and whoever side it lands on, they lose a point. So if it lands on my side, in this case M9 would have got a point. So what we do if the ball lands in the middle is you keep 50 in it until you finally push it over to someone's side. But that is pretty much it. Moving on, we now have passing play. So this one's pretty much, it's simple as all you're doing is passing the ball back and forth between your teammates and just kind of getting more consistent, and make sure you do it with speed like the one in the background. Alright, so the final thing is 1v1s. Now this is such an important thing and you need to practice it, and I know it's boring and I know you might be annoyed, but everything you're being annoyed at, like kickoffs, goals, it's because of your mistakes. So just practice it, get used to it, and watch some pros. That definitely helps. So that is the end of this warm-up tutorial. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. It really means the world to me. And as you can see, I'm in the gizmo, and the reason I'm in the gizmo is because I was just recording the freestyle with the gizmo, and I just want to say it went pretty successful. I'm not going to spoil anything. There was a little teaser of one of the shots in the background, but there's definitely a lot better ones. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope this helped. Now I know it's a pretty long video, but I made it because I said I would ages ago, and it's super helpful and it helped me a ton. So make sure to work on it, and I hope you all enjoy. Peace.